Woof, that's a reach. Hey demons, it's me, ya boy. Maybe I'll just start opening my videos like that. Anyway, hey, it's me off camera again because I'm lazy and I don't feel like doing my makeup. Anyway, I had said in a recent video that I was contemplating doing pick a card readings, and I didn't think anyone would really want it, so I kind of dropped it. And then some lovely human whose username I can't remember, I am so sorry, actually commented that they'd love to hear a pick a card reading. So I'm like, okay, if y'all want to hear it, I'm up for it. So that's what we are doing today. I'm going to be using an oracle deck and a tarot deck. I will leave my email in the description, which I always say I'm going to do and then forget to do, both for custom readings, custom videos, and if anyone would want to donate a deck so I could keep doing stuff like this with more and more decks, I would love to do that. I actually have been practicing eclectic Wicca for about a year now. So I guess I technically am a Wiccan now, but it's not quite, it's complicated. Anyway, I actually do divination a lot. These are actually from my charm box where I have a bunch of different little charms I use for divination. I didn't bring that out for this video because it can get a little loud, and without my microphone, my professional microphone, it's a little bit hard to deal with fixing that audio because it does get quite loud. So I'm not going to do that, but I did figure while I was doing this, I might as well use them to designate the piles. This is going to be pile number 1, and this is it's a couple seashells that look like a flower. Pile number 2 is this black flower charm, and pile number 3 is this red rose charm. I'm using the Animal Spirit, the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit Oracle deck, and then I'm using the Zombie Tarot deck. I actually really love this tarot deck, even though it can't be read upside down, which does come with some issues sometimes, but honestly, it's one of my favorite decks to use. So again, pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. I will try and put timestamps in the comment section and description box. If I forget, I am sorry. Life is a little hectic. But there's a tarot reader I actually listen to who says to help pick your pile, pick whichever one sparks a memory in you. And I find that interesting. That's, who does that? What's that channel's name? Servant of the Fates. She does that. But I just like to go with whatever you feel drawn to, whatever it may be that makes you feel drawn to a certain pile, go with that. I'm going to start with pile number 1. I am using only one deck, and I did not pre-shuffle the cards, but that's fine. So I'm just going to start with pile numero 1. This is, again, this is a seashell flower, and when I see this one for my charm box, I usually think of the Wiccan rule of 3, which is whatever you put out comes back to you threefold. So I take that as a watch what you're thinking about, try and remain positive, because if you're thinking negatively, it's going to manifest. And your oracle card is the Whale. So although I do read cards and do other divination quite often, these decks are impossible to memorize for someone like me who has no attention span. So I apologize that I will be looking through the books, but hey, page turning sounds, right? And this deck is set up so it is the 4 elements and then spirit. This one is in the water element. So the whale represents profound emotional health and stability. I really wish my cats would stop crying right now. It's fine. Anyway, whale personalities are not afraid of emotional expression or traversing difficult terrain, as they have overcome many challenges in their life. These experiences have enriched them, given them stability, strength, and a depth that is rare. Whale energy is usually linked to the feminine forces of compassion and communication. We can depend on whale personalities when all else seems lost and trust them to be a beacon in our darkest hour. When in balance, you will feel calm, steady, and deeply compassionate. When it's out of balance, you'll feel heavy, slips into old stories, so like repeating past mistakes. And to bring back into balance, regular self-care, which I am guilty of not practicing. I'm trying to work on it. Let's see what tarot has to say. So the way I draw cards is a little bit different. I kind of just feel for the right ones. And there's never really a set amount of cards I draw. Oh, I guess I'm drawing both of those. I feel like we need more. Let's see what else I can get. Just trying not to, ooh, judgment. I'm trying not to hit my mic, even though I know I've already hit it a couple times. Okay. So, here's the earth, as my fiance would say. So, we got a lot. I'm trying to figure out what order to read this in for you. My pile number 1 here. I haven't done picket cards in a little while, so it's difficult because I've been mostly reading for my friends who have specific things going on in their lives, and I'm like, this is what this relates to. So this is using my thinking muscle a little harder than I'm used to. Also, in the zombie tarot, hazards would be pentacles in the traditional tarot. So the Queen of Hazards, so Queen of Hazards is going to be someone who's like a friend or maybe your job, and they're expecting a little bit too much of you. It can also mean that you're not acknowledging your emotional well-being in favor of material things, which would make sense with having the whale here of needing to delve deeper and practice self-care, because the Queen of Hazards is so focused on material stability that she kind of forgets her emotional well-being. So I'm getting with that you've kind of been neglecting the things you might emotionally need in favor of maybe working longer hours or not leaving a job because it pays well, or maybe even overextending yourself for family, something like that. Then we move on to the 9 of Swords. So 9 of Swords here talks about kind of feeling hopeless. And the important thing to remember about 9 is almost 10, and 10 is the end of a cycle. So you're approaching the end of a negative cycle here where you've been neglecting your emotional well-being. If you see in this card, he's got a zombie bite on his hand, right? But she's injecting his leg. It's like, you're not looking at the real problem, my friend. And it may possibly be like things may be going better even in career, but you still don't feel satisfied, and it's probably because you're neglecting your emotional well-being. So that's what you really need to focus on there. Queen of Swords, I actually pulled this for myself this morning, but in a completely different context. The Queen of Swords talks about a particularly usually an older woman who has faced loss in their life. but it's also someone who's ready for anything. So it might mean, I'm getting that it might mean that you've kind of hardened your exterior because of pain you've felt. And so that's why you're kind of neglecting your self-care over here, is you've gone through all this loss and you're like, I'm not hurting like that again. I'm done with that. So you just armed yourself to the teeth and are like, no one's getting close to me, but it leaves you feeling at a loss. And then you do have, also want to note real quick, you got 2 queens here and then 2 major arcana. And if you're not familiar with tarot, major arcana are like the big deal of the tarot. I also find it interesting that Judgment came out before the Sun because this is number 20 and this is number 19. So Judgment talks about karma incarnate and acceptance and responsibility. And I'm going to actually read what the book says for this one because it's pretty interesting. There's a tough decision to be made, and you're the one with the finger on the button. You understand that your actions determine your path through this crazy world, and you're ready to put that knowledge to good use. You have what it takes to drop the bomb, but you must be willing to accept the consequences of your decision. And in conjunction with the Sun, because the Sun talks about success, becoming enlightened, and hope. So this tells me, because of everything you're facing up here emotionally, you have a big decision to make. And if you use your better judgment and everything you've learned along the way so far, you're going to have a really good outcome of like the dreams coming true. Things are going to work out in the end as long as you understand what you need to work on inside to get the external results that you want. For example, actually in my life, I'm trying to manifest some good things happening, but my emotional health has been really plummeting, and I keep sitting here saying, but why isn't it happening? Why isn't it happening? And I keep getting my cards telling me it'll happen as soon as you fix your face. And I'm like, okay. And by fix your face, that's something me and my friends say when it's like you're grumpy for no reason or you're overreacting to a situation. Particularly we say it to the cats. But yeah, so basically work on your emotional health and it will bring you the fulfillment and prosperity you've been looking for. So that's going to be pile number 1, and I'm going to move on to pile numero dos. And I'm going to put the cards back in the deck. Also, if you're watching this video the whole way through, thank you. Also, if things don't resonate, let me know. Just tell me what I got right, what I didn't. I'm always willing to learn. So, first of all, this black flower charm, it's actually starting to get pretty beat up from my charm box. You can see it's bronze underneath, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it has 8 black petals with a white center. I realize I'm not even on camera. 8 black petals with a white center, and I take that to mean, I know numerologically, that is such a tough word, speaking, 8 has its own properties, but whenever I see 8, I associate it personally with infinite possibility and needing to know how to transform, I guess, like dark, bleak, negative energy into something positive to make those infinite possibilities a reality. Then for your oracle card, we have the Stingray, which is actually in the element of water. And my foot fell asleep. This is horrible. You know when your foot falls asleep and it's just pins and needles? Stingray. Okay. I also get that you might want to think about balancing your chakras, just because not all of the cards have all the chakra colors lit up like that. So I think you might need to work on centering yourself. Stingray. Oh my god, why are people so loud? I hate living in a city. The Stingray card represents a pivotal point in personal growth. The moment has come when the Stingray must decide between the old, easy, comfortable, and familiar, and the new, challenging, uncomfortable, and unfamiliar. Pressure from family and friends makes the decision even more complicated, no matter what choice is made now. It is inevitable that this dilemma will surface again and again as a force of dharma growing within the Stingray is too strong to ignore. So when this is in balance, you would feel eager and want to grow. When it's out of balance, you would blame others and feel like quitting. And to bring into balance, move through the discomfort. As a phrase I like says, the only way out is through. So this kind of actually relates to pile one a little bit. So if you didn't listen to pile one, you might want to so far. Pile one was about making emotional changes to bring what you want into reality, but not gonna hit my wire this time. Let's see what we get. Ooh, Ten of Swords. So you've been going through some tough bullshit recently, and honestly, relatable content. I don't know if that's the right card, so I'm gonna shuffle again. The way I shuffle is a little weird, which is why I didn't shuffle prior to filming. I'm gonna go with that card. Celebrations. Oh, a message. And let's see if there's anything else for you. I'm trying to do 5 card spreads, but whatever comes out, comes out. Ooh. Oh, Knight of Wands. Okay, so lots of fast energy here. And let me see if I can get one more card from my pile number 2, peeps. I honestly think it's this one. The Hermit. Okay. Alright, fam. Let's delve in. So, Ten of Swords here is honestly, I like looking at the book. Sometimes there's keywords that could stick out to me, but honestly, the more traditional tarot meaning for this one is sticking out to me. You're overly burdened emotionally. There is way more going on than you can physically deal with, and I can very much relate. Where it's like it's just one thing and then another thing and another thing, and it doesn't ever stop, and you're just like, but when? When is the end? But you have that followed by the Four of Wands, which is actually celebration. So this says, take a load off, my friend. The Four of Wands gives you permission to attend a celebration with family and friends, or invade a celebration and eat your family and friends. The plans you've made are set in motion. This is a time to rest up for the challenges ahead. So what I'm getting is, oh, this might be my pile, honestly. I'm getting called out by all these piles so far. It's fine. So basically, you're feeling overburdened because you can't see that what you've wanted to set in motion already is in motion. The results aren't visible to you yet. It almost feels like nothing's happening. It's just more and more swords keep piling up. But this is the universe saying, nah, fam, it's already in motion, and you just gotta kick back and relax for now, because the more you worry about it, the longer it's gonna take. And, like, just relax for a bit. You don't always have to have your issues at the forefront of your mind. And then, again, this Page of Wands relates to the Stingray, because there's definitely a need for growth with this card, because this is a baby. I also take pages as messengers as well as knights. Pages and knights I take as messengers. I know not everyone reads both of them that way. I just personally do. But this page is saying there's need for personal growth here, as was stated with the Stingray. That just because something's uncomfortable doesn't mean it's the time to quit, which also mirrors the Ten of Swords. Things are really uncomfortable right now, and you just want to give up. But this Four of Wands, between the Page of Wands and the Ten of Swords, is saying, you've already got it. You just don't know it yet. And then the Knight of Wands over here. One thing in particular I usually notice when I read this card is he manages to show up at the right place at the right time, so don't hesitate to ask him for favors if you need a little extra something. So what I'm getting from this is, especially because Four of Wands came out, and I take that as celebrating, especially with loved ones, ask your loved ones for help right now, even if it's nothing tangible, even if it's just, hey, come over or video chat, because I know we got a pandemic, but just reconnect with your loved ones somehow, because that could really bring you the kind of the uplift you need, but followed by the Hermit. And this card, as any tarot reader knows, no matter the deck, this is needing to look inward. This is everything outside sucks right now. I get that. Look inward. Don't worry, fam. I'm being called out during this too. It's all right. But there's a direct quote I want to read from this. Just because you hear the undead knocking doesn't mean you need to open the door. A much-needed break helps you to recharge before heading back out to the ruckus of the zombie apocalypse. Take a few deep breaths before you open the door. What's that smell? The odor of power, my friend, and the pile of corpses in your backyard. So what this tells me is that, one, you should listen to pile number 1 because it feels like an extension of that. And 2, looking inward right now, because all of this is looking inward when outward things hurt, and relying on friends right now for the uplift you need. So maybe try meditation, maybe try looking inward, and hopefully things improve for all of us soon. On that note, I'm going to move to pile numero trace and put these back in the deck. Alright. Why? So when I see this charm, the rose, typically I think of growth, transformation, as well as the need for grounding, because red is the color of the root chakra. I really hope my phone didn't just buzz. I know I just saw my friend send me a meme, and I hope it didn't buzz. Anyway, your oracle card is the hawk, which I'm pretty sure that's in air. Yeah, that's in air. So let's see. One right here, so sorry. Okay. The sharp eyes of the hawk watch our every move. This keen-eyed bird has the ability to see every little detail, as well as the bigger picture. When this card appears, fate has its eyes on you, and the winds are shifting. It is said that the hawk carries news upon its wings, and is sent from divinity itself to deliver it. The message should not be taken lightly, though it may seem small or insignificant, it will eventually redirect your course. So when in balance, you see clearly, like using your intuition. Actually, the next word was intuitive. I'm good. When out of balance, you see too much and you're suspicious. And to bring it to balance, try a perspective shift. This is mirroring both other piles I've read for so far. Oop. I think all my energy got. Okay. Cat's chasing something that's not there. It's fine, fam. So let's see what the tarot has for you. As I said in the other piles, I do shuffle a little bit differently. So that's why I decided to shuffle on camera. Also, the fact that I was using only one tarot deck for all of these. And I don't like ruling out options of cards. So, 7 of Wands. Two of Cups. I'm going to go with that one. 2 of Hazards. Okay. I don't know what my cat's getting into. That's a problem for later me. Let's see what else we can get. King of Wands. A bag of rice being ripped open. Six of Swords. Ironically, I've only ever gotten this this card in a very specific reading before. So let me just read the book for you for this one. The Seven of Wands finds you on the defensive. You're holding your ground against the advancing horde and standing up for your own ideas. Challenges help to refine your beliefs and make them stronger. Don't let anyone say you're not entitled to a fresh cadaver. You've earned this meal, and you should defend it from anyone who might try and steal it. Having said, I also typically read this card as defending tired ideas, just because, not to get overly political, but that definitely reminds me of Trump, and the wording reminded me of a boomer defending American values, which America is problematic as fuck. I'm not going to get into that right now. This is not what this channel is for. But you get my point. Anyway, so in conjunction with this hawk, where you need a perspective shift, this tells me that there's ideas that you're, or not ideas, ideas and ideals that you are holding on to that are holding you back. You need to let go of thoughts and patterns that no longer serve you. Two of Cups is, in this deck, is actually talking about making amends, because you got, kittens are loud, fam. You got a zombie and a human eating at the same table. So this is kind of, I'm getting that this is almost like a story here, which is different from the other ones. So if you can let go of these old thought patterns, you can make amends with someone that you've been wanting to. Almost a peace offering, like a rose. Someone that may have been close to you at one point that you kind of let fall by the wayside just because your viewpoints were way too different. Then we got the Two of Hazards, which hazards in this deck, as I said in the other piles, would be pentacles in the traditional tarot. And so, yeah, so this one's about balance, harmony, and juggling responsibilities. Keep an eye on responsibilities until the cavalry arrives. Don't despair, help is on the way. So it might be that you've been holding on to these things not because you want to or you're stubborn, but because you had no way to let go of them. And I'm getting from these two that it's, if you just reach out to this person or these people, whoever it is, they can help you. And then King of Wands. King of Wands here is, again, with the perspective shift, telling you need to be optimistic. It's, you see how he replaced his leg with the chair, and he's putting his leg bone as the chair leg. It's saying reinvent yourself and get creative, because I'm trying to think of a better idiom, but there's more than one way to skin a cat. I hate that idiom, but I can't find a better one in my head. There's more than one way to do things. And learning that when these tired ideas aren't working, you can try something new and move forward. That's going to help you, because this Six of Swords card actually talks about healing from your past and moving forward. So basically, this spread in its entirety is saying you need to kind of go through a perspective shift with these old ideas, and it'll lead to rekindling possibly some relationships or partnerships that have gone away because of differences of opinion. You're not alone in this. Rethink things again and heal and move on. That is what I have for you today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what resonated with you. Maybe what you'd like to hear next time if there's a particular topic. And I'll see you later. Bye. Oh, big stretch.